The Galactic Defense Academy's combat simulator hummed with menacing energy as Cadet Marcus Chen stepped into the neural interface chamber. Around him, a crowd of alien cadets pressed against the observation deck's reinforced transparent steel, their various appendages, tentacles, and sensory organs quivering with anticipation. "Another human about to learn humility," chittered Crixtal, a mantis-like Zilarian whose compound eyes gleamed with satisfaction. "The Kobayashi Protocol has never been beaten in 3 centuries. Commander Vorthak, the Academy's Thurian instructor, manipulated the holographic controls with his 6-fingered hands. His crystalline skin reflected the chamber's blue glow as he addressed the assembled cadets through the intercom. "The Kobayashi Protocol," his gravelly voice echoed, "is not merely a test of tactical prowess. It is a measure of character when faced with absolute defeat. No cadet has ever achieved victory. The scenario is mathematically impossible." Marcus adjusted the neural crown on his head, feeling the cold metal against his temples. He'd heard the stories. Brilliant Arcturian strategists reduced to tears. Legendary Centauri warriors storming out in rage. Even the famously logical Volcoid species abandoning their emotional control when faced with the simulation's cruel mathematics. The chamber dissolved around him, replaced by the bridge of a Federation starship. Klaxons wailed as his tactical display painted a nightmare scenario. 3 enemy dreadnoughts closing in, shields at 12%, weapons offline, and a distress signal from a civilian transport caught in the crossfire. "Simulation begins," announced the computer's neutral voice. "You have command." Marcus surveyed his options. The enemy ships were hegemony destroyers, each one outgunning his light cruiser 3-1. Standard tactical doctrine demanded retreat, but the civilian transport carried 300 souls, including children from the colony worlds. The math was merciless. Save the transport and die, or flee and live with the weight of abandoned innocence. Every previous cadet had chosen one of these paths. The tactical geniuses calculated odds and retreated. The honorable warriors charged to glorious defeat. Both responses were predicted, cataloged, and deemed acceptable by the Academy's psychological evaluation protocols. Marcus did neither. "Helm full reverse thrust," he commanded. "Take us directly backward at maximum burn." The simulated bridge crew exchanged confused glances. Retreating toward the enemy violated every principle of space combat doctrine. "Sir, that course will take us directly into their firing solution," warned his tactical officer. "I'm counting on it. Engineering, prepare to eject the antimatter containment pods on my mark. Tactical, lock torpedo guidance systems to home in on our own engine signature." In the observation deck, Commander Vorthak's crystalline features shifted to a deeper blue, the Thurian equivalent of a frown. The human's commands made no tactical sense. "What is he doing?" whispered Ensign Zephyra, her Andalian head tentacles writhing with confusion. Marcus watched the enemy formation adjust to his retreat, their commanders surely baffled by his apparent cowardice. The lead destroyer accelerated, eager to finish what seemed like a broken opponent. "Now," Marcus said quietly, "execute." The antimatter pods ejected in a cloud of superheated plasma. Simultaneously, the torpedoes launched, not at the enemy but tracking back toward Marcus's own ship. To any observer, it appeared to be a catastrophic malfunction. The lead destroyer's captain, programmed with the arrogance typical of hegemony commanders, pressed his advantage. He closed distance rapidly, wanting to savor the kill. The torpedoes, following their target lock, struck the ejected antimatter pods just as the enemy ship passed through the debris field. Physics did the rest. The antimatter explosion vaporized the lead destroyer instantly. The shockwave crippled the second ship and sent the third tumbling out of formation. In the chaos, Marcus's damaged cruiser limped to the civilian transport, providing cover for its escape to hyperspace. The simulation chamber fell silent. The tactical display showed an impossible result. Mission successful. Enemy eliminated. Civilian saved. Commander Vorthak stared at the readouts, his 6 hands frozen over the controls. In 3 centuries, no cadet had ever turned the Kobayashi Protocol's cruel mathematics against itself. How? The word escaped from Crixtal's mandibles like a prayer. Marcus removed the neural crown, his dark eyes calm. The simulation assumed I would value my ship's survival over mission success. It assumed I would play by conventional rules. He stood, stretching muscles cramped from neural interface. But humans have a saying: if you can't win the game, change the rules. That was suicide, protested Ensign Zephyra. You sacrificed your entire crew. The crew was simulated, Marcus replied simply. The 300 civilians would have been real. The choice was simple. Commander Vorthak approached the human cadet, his crystalline skin now cycling through colors that indicated deep contemplation. In all my years administering this test, I have observed candidates choose between tactical withdrawal and heroic sacrifice. You chose neither. I chose victory, Marcus corrected. Every other species approaches problems with their own logic. Zalarian swarm tactics, Thurian crystalline thinking, and Dalian collective consciousness. Humans are different. We're the galaxy's worst optimists. We see impossible scenarios and ask, what if there's a way? Instead of accepting defeat? The observation deck buzzed with alien conversations as the implications sank in. The Academy's ultimate test of character had been beaten not through superior firepower or tactical genius, but through the peculiarly human refusal to accept that some battles couldn't be won. That evening, the Academy's senior staff convened an emergency session. The Kobayashi Protocol would need redesigning, they concluded. But privately, many wondered if any simulation could truly account for human unpredictability. In his dormitory, Marcus received messages from across the Academy. Some called him reckless, others branded him a cheater. But from the human quarters came a different response: pride. They had always known that humans brought something unique to the galactic community. Today, one cadet had proven that sometimes the galaxy's newest members could teach the oldest civilizations new tricks. The day a human cadet beat the Academy's combat simulator designed to be unwinnable became legend. But for Marcus Chen, it was just Tuesday, and humans had never been very good at accepting impossible odds anyway.